If you take a look around the subway, you'll see everyone, whether standing or sitting, staring intently at their smartphones. Even in a packed train, where movement is nearly impossible, people are scrolling through endless content on social media. At restaurants, people sitting face-to-face are often too engrossed in their phones to interact with each other. It makes one wonder, could this be smartphone addiction? Addiction can be broadly classified into two categories. One is behavioral addiction, which includes addictions to smartphones, gambling, gaming, and shopping. The other is substance addiction, which involves dependence on alcohol, caffeine, nicotine, or drugs. The symptoms of addiction are as follows. Even when one wants to stop, they cannot. They require increasingly more of the addictive behavior or substance. Their attention becomes hyper-focused on the addictive behavior or substance. They experience both mental and physical health issues, and they may even suffer withdrawal symptoms. The human brain is wired to reward positive behaviors. Normally, when we engage in healthy activities, such as eating good food or spending time with loved ones, our brains release dopamine, which makes us feel good and reinforces these positive behaviors. However, highly stimulating behaviors or substances produce an excessive amount of dopamine, which can lead to addiction as the brain becomes dependent on these elevated dopamine levels. A particularly fascinating experiment illustrates this well. A group of researchers gave a rat the ability to press a button that would stimulate dopamine release directly in its brain. The rat became so obsessed with pressing the dopamine button that it stopped eating and drinking entirely. Because it had gained direct control over its brain's pleasure mechanism without the need for any specific behavior or drug, it ultimately became addicted to the point of being unable to sustain normal life functions. If left in this state, the rat would have eventually died. We often assume that people struggling with addiction lack willpower. Many believe that overcoming addiction is simply a matter of determination and that those who fail to do so are weak. While some individuals manage to quit their addictions through sheer willpower, it is an incredibly difficult feat. So much so that there is a saying, never befriend someone who has just quit smoking, emphasizing the severity of the struggle. Addiction is, in fact, a brain disorder. When addiction takes hold, it physically alters the circuitry of the brain. Overcoming addiction means resisting the brain's own commands that tell a person to smoke a cigarette or check your phone, which involves immense psychological and physical suffering. This is why most people find it nearly impossible to recover from addiction on their own. Moreover, many people fail to recognize their own addictions. Someone might say, I can't put my phone down, but I could if I wanted to. But is that really true? Unlike other brain disorders, there is no clear-cut diagnostic method to measure addiction, making it difficult to assess whether one is truly addicted. In many cases, individuals refuse to acknowledge their own addiction. Current treatment methods primarily focus on helping individuals quit voluntarily. For substance addictions, detox treatments remove harmful substances from the body, and medications may be prescribed for co-occurring conditions such as depression or bipolar disorder. Rehabilitation centers provide a drug-free environment where patients receive medical care over an extended period. Support groups, like those often depicted in movies, bring together recovering individuals to encourage and support one another. However, even after recovery, many people relapse. Once addiction has altered the brain, exposure to temptation can easily trigger a relapse. The best solution for overcoming addiction is to understand how addiction alters the circuitry of the brain and to reverse these changes as quickly as possible. Research into the effects of addiction on brain function is actively advancing our understanding of its underlying mechanisms. These studies will pave the way for precise diagnostic methods that can measure the impact of addiction on the brain. Additionally, treatments such as brain stimulation therapy may become available to restore the brain to its original state. We are living in an age of addiction. Any one of us could be an addict without even realizing it. As addiction continues to permeate modern society, understanding it will become even more crucial in the years to come.